Hi, Catalina. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing okay. I am a little stressed, but that's why I came here and hopefully we can find a solution to all the things that I've been going through lately.
Okay. Can you go ahead and tell me about what is going on?
Yeah, so currently I've been feeling very burnt out with just work and school and my personal life. It's almost like I don't have the proper work-life balance. It feels like very overwhelming because I'm only one person. And to me, it feels like I have to do so much. My role is a lot. I have to be a wife, a mother, a student, a worker at the end of the day. And it's just so much to take on sometimes that it begins to stress me out. I become overwhelmed, I get angry, I get irritable, and it also it makes me want to isolate sometimes.
Let's see. So we will be using reality therapy today, which is choice theory. It's always about behavior, but I will need you to please tell me more about what you mean by you're burnt out at work.
Okay. So, I guess for me, my experience of burnout is more like I just feel really tired and I it's hard to find that motivation when I have so many things thrown at me. Like for example, I have to wake up very early in the morning and I go to sleep very late and I wake up around every day I wake up at 6:30 in the morning. I'm at work by 8 a.m. And then at work, I'm on my feet. I work with children in the autism spectrum. So it could be a very rough day depending on the behaviors that I'm working with. I do see my patients, at least I see four different patients a day for at least 2 to 3 hours each. And the job is great, it's rewarding, I love it. But, whenever they are in behaviors for a very long time, it requires a lot of energy for me to de-escalate them, do my own therapeutic process on that. And then by the end of the day, I'm exhausted mentally and physically. And then I'm in traffic for an hour. I come home and then I'm playing the role of a wife where I have to cook and clean and take care of my child and my husband who feels like he's my second child because if I don't cook, if I don't clean, there's no food, none of the dishes are washed. So it's like a never-ending cycle sometimes where I just want to get a break. I would love to just disappear from everything and just have some time to myself. But I know that it's not the reality, and I know that it's currently not possible. So I try to tell myself, like, okay, just take it one day at a time. But every day it's just more and more stress. So it's been hard to juggle everything. And on top of that, I'm a student. So I still have to make the time of the day to also do homework. And just by the time I go to sleep, it's like 12 or 1 in the morning.
Mm, mm. I could see what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. So all you've said right now, and like I said earlier, reality therapy is always about your behavior, and you have to always know one thing that you can't control anybody. You can only control yourself. So with what you said right now, how would you picture your day to be like? What exactly do you want? I know you said you feel like disappearing and thereabout. So what exactly do you want? Let's break it down into three parts. You talked about your work, you talked about your personal life, and you talked about your social life. So what do you want on your work aspect? What do you think can change? Or what do you think you can control?
Oh, yes. Well, let's see. For work, work will always be very unpredictable. Like for example, today was a smoother day. I was there for a long period of time, but I had a patient cancel, so my morning was free. I worked mostly like in the administration role today. So, which can happen when there's a lot of call outs or not enough patients. So, work is very unpredictable. Some days are easier than others, but I do like that and it is rewarding. So, I don't see myself shifting roles just yet, but sometimes I do think that I do have HR experience and sometimes I wonder if I would like to maybe apply to like an HR role in the company that I currently work for and just be more office based where it's less of a mental and physical exhaustion and I can
Mm-hmm.
still work and something that I have experience and that I like.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as home, maybe just communicate with my husband about the cooking and the dishes, which is really all I need because sometimes I have such a hard day that I want to come home to a cooked meal. I want to come home to a clean house where all I have to do is just put my kid in the bath, put him to sleep, spend some time with him, and that's it. I would love to have that one time, at least once or three times a week, if possible. But I think that by the time I bring up the concern to my husband, I'm so irritated. My head is hurting from traffic, from work. I'm in a bad mood. I'm in a bad attitude. I don't talk to anybody when I get home. And I don't think that the stress of my day should be anybody else's punishment. So, it's hard because it's like, how do I communicate that without starting an argument?
So, how do you think you can communicate that without starting the arguments? What do you think you can do
Well,
whereby you don't get irritated? You know, what do you when you're driving home? What do you think about when you're driving home? What do you perceive? You know, do you
all the
perceive?
things I have to do when I get home. That's the problem. It's like when I'm driving home, I'm already stressing myself out. I'm already telling myself, oh, I have to cook, I have to clean, I have to put away dishes, I have to pack my lunch for tomorrow. That's another thing. I pack my lunch every day, so I'm basically cooking dinner and then tomorrow's lunch. So it's a lot.
Okay, so you said you don't know how to communicate. How have you been communicating to him regarding what you
Lately,
want him to do? Are you communicating in a loving way or you're communicating in a harsh way? Because you're saying that you're already aggravated, at times or already upset by the time you get home. So how are you communicating to him? How are you letting him know what you want him to do?
well, I guess I haven't been communicating in the best way, because I haven't necessarily brought it up. So because I know that I'm in a bad mood, because I know that I'm stressed, I kind of avoid talking to him. So I won't talk to him until after I cook dinner and after I clean, and I'll just talk to him like nothing never happened. And I did bring it up one time last week, when I didn't cook, and he was like, "Oh, I miss your cooking." And I said it, I was like, well, it would be nice for me to come home to a cooked meal every once in a while. Because at one point he did used to cook all the time. But then once we had a kid, it's like he just gave up on the whole house chores role. So, I did tell him that, but I didn't genuinely express like, hey, I would like for you to start cooking more, or I want you to start cooking more. So I think if I can have a more gentle approach and have him understand everything that I have to go through, I think that would maybe help out.
Okay. Because you see, the five basic things that we human needs is we want survival. We want to survive. We want love and belonging. And that's what you're talking about right here, because you want that love and belonging. You also want the power, which you're talking about also at work, right? You want to be like, in a better position and whatever to be able to control whatever you're doing. And also we have the freedom and then you have fun, which is the social aspect that you're talking about. So for the communication that you're, talking about regarding your husband, you have to find a way to talk to him. And just like you said earlier now, that you haven't been able to communicate, you don't talk to him. Since when you get home, You're already upset. You don't want to talk to him. So if
Exactly.
you do that, is that really working for you?
Yeah,
Does
no.
he even does he even know that you're upset with him regarding that? Do you think he understands or know what exactly is wrong with you?
No, not at all. I tend to ignore when I'm
So
mad. I need to start being more expressive in a nice way, of course.
that is the thing. So let's assume now you're leaving work tomorrow and you're driving home.
Hmm.
What are the thoughts? Like I said, remember it's your choice and your behavior. What are you going to be thinking about when you're coming home? When you're driving from work tomorrow, what are you going to be thinking about? Positive things, or are you going to be thinking about negative things? What
Yeah.
do you think? What are you going to be thinking about?
I think since I'm ready to make a change, I can look at it more positive in the sense that I'm blessed that I have a home to go to. I'm blessed that I have a family to see and to devote my time to, such as by taking care of them. But I also do think that it's fair for me, for once, to get a break. And I could communicate with my husband actually as of tonight and let him know, hey, this is a maybe a tough week for me or a tight week for me. I would appreciate if maybe we can do it as a team. That way he doesn't feel all the pressure. If you can just help me out with this and this, and and maybe by the time I come home from work, I'll be less, there will be less tension because I'm thinking of a positive way to just look at the situation instead of saying to myself, oh, I have to go home and cook and clean and this and that. I can actually look at it like, you know what? I have a home and I have a family and I'm excited. I should be excited to come home, rather than upset and tensed.
So that's a good way to look at that, regarding the home level. Getting home, talk to him about it, and let him know what you've been feeling or how he's making you feel like he's not helping out. And the
Mm,
moment you can share that with him in a loving way, definitely, he should be able to listen. And then, like you said, you might decide to say, okay, let's make it as a teamwork. Maybe you divide the schedule that, okay, why don't you help me on those days that I'm burnt out, these days, Mondays or Tuesdays, why don't you do this for me? And then if you guys can communicate that, and that will show that, he too will feel appreciated. He'll feel more love. But if you're upset, you're not talking to him, you're shutting the door off, and he doesn't understand what is going on. He might just go like, okay, she's just upset. But you have to be able to communicate exactly what is going on. So tomorrow when you're going home, try to do that. Think of positive things. Think of something like the Bible says. Think of whatever is so beautiful, whatever is lovely, whatever is good. Make
right.
that choice to be on the right path. Don't allow the negative thoughts to come to you, and then you'll
Mm,
be able to go ahead and relate to him when you get home. And then concerning your work, the HR that you said you would love to maybe apply for an administrative work for the HR at work. So
yes.
what is stopping you from doing that? What exactly is stopping you from doing that?
Well, the only thing that's stopping me is that I have to reach my 6 months because I just started with the company in July. And in order for me to transfer within the company, such as locations or roles, I have to be there for at least 6 months. And once I reach like my 6 month mark where they do like an evaluation, then I can potentially bring up like, hey, by the way, I have recruiter experience, I have HR experience. I would love to still stay within the company and work more of the administrative office role within the company. But I don't get that evaluation until December, maybe
Okay.
early January. So definitely my goal would be to, once I reach that 6 month evaluation, just to start applying within the company and hopefully I can get that position too. And I think it'll be a lot more easier for me also.
So that's going to be awesome. So if you can get that done, then that will move you to the administrative section, whereby it will give you less stress or that
Yes.
you're going through right now at work. But if there's any other thing, is there any other thing you can prepare yourself for before that time? Maybe there are other requirements that they might need that you can try and find out, and then you can try and work on between now and that time.
Yeah.
Do they have any other thing you think that?
No, well, do the evaluation, and I think they send me like the invitation or the appointment a week before. But considering the time that I got hired, I know for sure that my evaluation would be sometime around December or January. And then a little bit before then, the best thing I can do is just keep up my performance, my attendance,
Okay.
ethic. And then maybe start asking questions to like the operational manager and ask her like, hey, if there's a potential in this, like what can I do to start
Mhm.
preparing for it? So that way, by the time I have my evaluation, I have everything that they're looking for, and it can make it easier for me to just do a different role within the company.
So that's a good step. So I'm gonna need you to go ahead and start working towards that in our
Mhm.
next therapy section, and that will give you that power that you need to be, in control of something totally different, and then you have lesser stress at work, and going home will be more easier for you driving. You won't be driving stressed out because at
Yeah.
least you know that okay, I have a good day at work, and I'm doing what I love now at work. And then when you
Yes.
get home, like I said, communicate with your husband so that you guys can be able to, talk more and express exactly whatever it is that is going on with you. You can't just shut him down like that because the moment you shut him down like that, he doesn't know what is going on in your mind. So whatever they always say, they say something in choice therapy, your behavior is a language. It's like you're dishing something out. It's whatever you're putting out there is the same thing the people are absorbing, and they're going to send it back to you. So you just have to try as much as possible to know the choices, you make the right choices
Yeah.
regarding behavior. And then you said something about your social life. So what exactly would you want, regarding the social life? What is your
Oh, I think that's where my thought of disappearing comes into because I've been so busy with work and school and just family that I haven't been able to just maybe go for happy hour or see some friends. And I think I want to make that a priority, more like, okay, on certain days, I'll squeeze in all of my homework. And then, maybe the day before, let my husband know, tell him to cook and that I'm gonna go out and see some friends, which we've always given each other our freedom. That's not even a problem. He knows that I've always been very social, very outgoing. But I think right now in this moment, with everything just piled up, especially with the job that I do, I haven't had time to have a social life, but I do want to make it more of a priority.
so how are you going to do that? How do you think you'll be able to do that now?
I think I would maybe do it. Maybe on the weekends or like if I have like a smoother day at work. Like today was a pretty smooth day, other than the fact that I got off a little later, but I could like maybe go with a coworker or just let a friend know, like plan it ahead of time and just maybe like spend 2 to 3 hours just to myself or with a friend and just kind of like feel that socialization again. And then I think that would also help me just be more at ease.
Okay. Okay. So is it something you can try to do maybe this coming week, or when do you think you want to actually take the step to do this?
Yeah, I think this upcoming week that would be a good week to start it.
So what day of the week are you going to be able to do that?
I think Thursday. I like Thursdays.
You like to be able to do that Thursdays? Okay,
Yeah.
so that means your son is going to be with your husband at that time, and then you can go and have your fun, and then you'll tell him to help you with the cooking a
Yes.
day before, or you're going to tell him now
I
that
think
your
I'm gonna
son.
tell him now, like, hey,
Okay.
next Thursday, I need this for myself. And I know he would
Mhm.
understand. Because he likes that. We have always encouraged each other to have our friends, our freedom. He has his guy time, I have my girl
Mhm.
time, and that's just something that we've always kept very healthy.
Okay. So, but when would you be able to communicate to him regarding how you want him to at least help you at home? When do you think you'll be able to talk to him about that?
I think tomorrow.
We will talk to him tomorrow about that.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll just want to remind you that when you're talking to him tomorrow, you have to try as much as possible to be on the positive, you know.
Yes.
But don't think about, oh, he doesn't do this every time. He doesn't do
Yeah.
this. He doesn't do that. Try to, think about it in a positive way and tell him exactly how you feel and tell him what you would want him to do and how it will help you to be that person, a good wife. You want to be the wife, you're the wife, you're the mom, you're everything. So for you to be that better wife he wants you to be, you're just gonna need him to help you out in some things. And I would like to hear, what happens, in the next session. Tell me, what the outcome of everything is.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. This sounds very exciting. I feel very relieved that I was able to at least kind of let this out, and that way I can have like more clarity on how to handle the situation. So I'm very excited. And yeah, I can't wait to let you know how it goes next session.
All right. Thank you. Hope to see you next time.
Oh, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right.
You stopped it?
Let me stop it right. Resume. Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm just here.
Oh, and why do you say that? Just here. What does that mean?
I have a lot going on, and that's why I had to come in for therapy. I don't believe in therapy, but I was told by my friends to come, so I'm just like, okay, let me just come and see what's gonna happen. I have a lot going on. It's like I have a lot on my plate. It's like everybody's pulling me right here and there, and I don't even know what to do. I have siblings back home, they're dragging me to help them financially. I have my life here. My work is not going as it ought to be. Everything is slow, and I still have to, have a small business and I have to pay salary to the staff, but the business is not like it ought to be. And my classes, I do take online classes right now. I'm trying to get my degree or my master's in counseling, but it's stressing me out too. It's like I can't balance everything. Work is there, family is there, finances is there, everything is there. And my kids too are there. So I don't even know. I don't know what to do.
Oh, well, I definitely understand where you're coming from. It is a lot just pulling you. You have work, you have family, you have finances and school. And I know that you mentioned earlier that you don't believe in therapy, but I do want to congratulate you for taking the initiative to come in today and just to give it a try. You're experimenting and you would like to see where this may take you. And here in my office, we work on person-centered therapy. So my goal as a therapist is to work alongside with you. I am working with you. I am not telling you what to do. It's not a mentorship. It's more about me focusing on what it is that you are worried about or stressed out about, and then we come to a solution together. So, my job here is mostly to help you in the best way that I can. And maybe if we take a look, let's see. What is out of all of the things that you mentioned a little while ago, what is the thing that is stressing you out the most out of school and family? And you mentioned that you feel like you're getting pulled by so many things, but what do you think is the hardest pull out of everything?
The hardest pull, I think, is the finances. I don't have that money. I don't have the money. I don't have the money. I'm not making the money I used to make. So, and people, my siblings back home, they want me to help them or need money for you to pay my child's school fees. I need money to buy this. They're there. I have to pay overheads here. I have to pay my own bills also, and my children too have to come and say, "Oh, mom, we need this." So it's too much. It's just I don't, and I can't. That's why I was like, what else can I do? I don't know what else to do. I can only do the best I can. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, you are one person, and I could see how it could be very overwhelming. And I can sense that this is really weighing a lot on you. I do notice that you said the number one thing that was very stressing you out is money. So maybe let's take a look at let's compare what you used to make to what you're making now. Was it due to a salary? Was it due to just the flow of your small business? Maybe it was more of a marketing, maybe more people word of mouth. Maybe the people were buying the services or purchasing the item. What do you think has changed? We do know that there's a lot of stuff going on in the economy, but is there anything that has drastically that you've seen statistically, affect the amount of money that's coming in right now?
Yes, normally before, I used to have a lot of children come to the center. I have a daycare, and I had a lot of
Okay.
kids. I had like 65 kids, and then it's just dropped right now to like maybe 25, 30 at times. And I have a new landlord now. My old landlord was, he was a
Mm,
very nice man and he was understanding. The new guy that came in now just jacked up the price, doubled the price. Even
mm,
though I want to say that, things are not the same, but he doesn't care, And I don't blame him. He has to pay his own bills. So that has gone up. And things are expensive. Things we used to buy at a particular right amount, it's all increased. So I don't know what to do. I've tried to do marketing. I'm just kind of like discouraged. That's just it. Just
yes. No, and I can see the mix of frustration and maybe confusion with what's going on. But what do you think would help the situation with the business? Do you think maybe marketing would help, or maybe moving the location? If this is like a short-term lease, is it something that you're looking forward to, as in changing the location where you can find a lower rent price? Um, do you think maybe having like more word of mouth with what you're running, or just, nowadays with social media marketing, you could possibly run an ad for like $5 on Facebook. And I know Facebook Marketplace is very popular. So maybe some ideas like that, or even in-person events, networking events. What do you think from your experience that you've had? Well, what do you think will possibly help out your marketing just a little bit more?
yeah, we with the things you said now, kind of like I used to do the ads, but I haven't done the online social media marketing. I haven't done that because I don't have idea. Maybe, but with the way you said it now, yeah, maybe I could get, someone that has that experience. They can help me, with the marketing online, maybe that
Hmm.
would make a difference. And then you mentioned something also about changing of locations. That also makes, it makes sense. But I'm just like, kind of like, I don't know what the economy, how the economy is going to turn now. So that's why I'm kind of like, Hmm. The way you said it, that's a good idea and a good suggestion that I think I might look into. Those two, I can go ahead and look into those ones. The
Yeah,
adverts and the social media adverts and the moving of the location. Maybe that would be able to help me, help me
yeah,
on finances. And now, as long as I can get stabilized on my finances, then I don't feel that the pressure I'm getting from everybody, I won't be overwhelmed by all that. Yeah, so that's something
exactly.
I can look into. That's something I can look
Yeah,
into.
yeah, and I agree with that because it seems like a mix of your frustration is primarily finances. So if we
Mm.
can look at ways where, especially because you're comparing your finances from before to now, meaning that you've had a business or a daycare with 60 kids at once. And even though it dropped down to 20, you can ask yourself, well, what was I doing differently when I had 60 kids? Where did these 60 kids come from? How was I able to do this before? Because if you were able to start from zero and go to 60 kids, then you can go from zero to maybe 100 kids or 120 kids if you put in, and if you don't mind me asking, what did you do back then to go from zero to 60? Was there anything different that you did, or anything that maybe you could add on or perfect?
No, I think the change was because of the school districts, because normally the school district they decided to build like a free school for kids, whereby normally daycares we have kids from like 18 months, to like 4 or 5. But what the school is now doing now is that they have after school program in school. So the kids that are supposed to be coming to us, they stay in school now. And then the new school they opened, they have to have kids from 18 months. So children that's supposed to come to daycare now go to that place and it's free. So that's why, it affected, all it's my neighborhood. Not it's not only me that I'm complaining, but it's the entire neighborhood. But just like you said, maybe it's time to change location, maybe.
Yeah, that could be a great factor. I won't tell you what to do because I do trust that you'll find the best path to move forward with this, with based off your experience. And as you mentioned, it was because of the school district. But all I can do is just provide maybe some ideas, get more clarification on what's going on, and we can work together towards this goal. And it seems like right now the main goal that we want to fix is just your finances. If we can get that business going back up, all of your pressure will go away. It seems like you have a lot with maintaining your own family and your business, so I can see how it's very stressful. How soon do you plan on relocating or maybe changing the locations or adding the new business ideas to your business?
Yeah, this is something I can start looking into. I think, maybe after election,
Hmm.
I'll start looking into it more. And then maybe probably next year, I can give myself maybe till the middle of next year. And after the election, I'll start looking, going around and talking to realtors to see if they can help me find, another location that'll be viable and it's not going to be too expensive. So I think I'll do that as soon as after the election, I can go ahead and talk to a realtor and help me out to see if they can find something good for me.
Oh, that's awesome. And I'm very proud of you because, today you really took the initiative to come here, although you didn't believe in therapy. But I know, I just want to let you know that everything that you said is valid and that there's no judgment for me. Whatever you're thinking or feeling is very important. And even if it may feel a little uncomfortable or cliche to come to therapy just to get some non-directive guidance or maybe just more awareness of the reality, I'm here and to understand it from your perspective. So, is there any way that I can support you right now or any other topics that, that you might need have some questions on or any guidance on?
Now, I really do appreciate your time, and I'm so grateful that you were able to help me out, even though I was like reluctant to come in for therapy. But I really feel good. The tension that I was feeling before is not as before. I feel light, point everything out. I feel very light right now, point everything out to you. And I do appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to working with you more, coming to see you regarding everything that I might be going through.
Yeah, of course. And what we can do in our next session is now that you have a goal towards your business, maybe now we can work in smaller steps. So, like today, we can figure out the plan for your business and how everything can improve. And then on the next session, because I know that you did mention that it is stressful with family and school, maybe we can figure out a solution for maybe your family, maybe more boundaries or just any idea that you can come up with, because as a family, we all love each other wholeheartedly. It's valid to help each other out, but it can be stressful when the pressure is put on one person. And I definitely validate where you're coming from in that aspect. So maybe we can plan on how we can approach your family with effective communication, maybe setting boundaries, maybe if you can't help yourself right now, how can you help them? So maybe communicating that with your family will also help out. But I do know that your main factor of stress is your business. And if we can get that fixed and we can move up with your business, I know that you will definitely be more calm, more at ease, and maybe your approach towards your family could be 100% better too. But I do want to summarize everything that you mentioned to me, and it was your finances at the moment with your business, with everything that's going on. It's not how it used to be. Some numbers have significantly dropped, and it's stressful because you have employees that you have to pay regardless of how the business is going. You have family to take care of and to send finances to another country because they pay for tuition and, groceries and bills, and that's the norm. Many families do that. I myself have done that in the past also, so I definitely understand what that is like. And then, you're currently juggling school too. So while it is a lot to juggle, we did discuss today that you are going to focus right now on one thing, which is your business. You're going to focus on marketing, possibly social media marketing, running ads. Maybe you can find a great marketer, or you did say you were looking to find someone that can help you with that. And I think that would be a great investment for yourself and your business. And possibly moving locations because you did mention that the rent got higher. And then after that, once you start seeing that progress, I think you will be great, and you will definitely have me here to support you, and I'm always here to listen, and I'm always here to help you on whatever path you choose. It seems like you know what's best for yourself, and it seems like you're very aware on what you're looking for. So I trust that you will find the best path forward for yourself. But we can always explore how you're feeling and what other options are coming up for you, and what direction feels right for the future. And that's what I'm here for. So I definitely love to hear more about it next session. Are there any questions you may have for me right now?
No, no, that's it. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course, of course. Thank you for coming.